For today, I'm challenging you to make your own original ring. What you can do is pause this video here and use Fusion 360 to try to make a ring of your own. Feel free to explore and make it any way you like. Then you can come back and check in with us. I will show you 3 ways to make a ring. Let's get started. Now, for our first solution here, as many of you may have thought of, we can use our extrude tool. We'll start by drawing a sketch. You may have gone ahead and used the circle tool to create 2 rings, like this. Pair it on the center, and of course you would have dimensioned it. And you may have gone ahead and extruded this whole shape. As an extra step, what you could have done was fillet these edges. Go ahead and select the bottom ones as well. And that would give you this nice ring shape. This is a perfect solution, and it draws on some of the tools we learned from the very beginning, such as the extrude and the fillet tool. For our second solution, what many of you may have tried would be to use the revolve tool. We could go to the front face and draw in the side profile of the ring. In this case, we could also make it have a bit of a design by taking out these line shapes and making an interesting cutout like this. You'll see here I've used a couple of constraints, including the horizontal and vertical constraints, the equal constraints to make these 2 lengths equal, and also the collinear constraint to make sure that these 2 lines stay right on top of each other. Of course, you'll have had to dimension this as well. Here for this dimension between this shape and the center, we would have had to choose half of our ring diameter. I'm using 17, and in this case, since we want half, we can just go ahead and do 17 over 2 here, and it'll do the math for you. You could have also lined this up to the center using a line like this and snapping it to the midpoint, and also making this line straight. However, it's also not a requirement since we're just going ahead and revolving it. So you would finish the sketch and you can revolve, selecting this middle axis. This would give you more of a ring with like grooves and other designs, and of course you could go ahead and fillet any edges that you wanted to clean up a little bit. To get this nice shape. So there you have it, our second solution. So for our final solution, I'll be showing you how to use a new tool. Upon first hearing the challenge, what many of you might have done is to look at the Create section and see if there's any other tool you can use. This is a good tip since it's difficult to learn all of the tools all at once, and every time you find a new project, you might be able to learn how to use a new one. So we'll see here there's this torus tool that seems to make a ring shape. We can go ahead and use that. So I'll show you how to do that. We're going to go ahead and click this top face. It can be any face. And you'll click the center and you'll drag out and choose the ring diameter. I'm going to do 17 as always. And we'll also see you can choose the torus diameter, so how thick your ring is. And I'm going to go ahead and do 3. You'll notice the position might be different for you, so you could have it on the inside, where your ring is drawn on the inside of your diameter that's 17, or whatever length you chose, or you could have it on the outside, or on the center. Since I know my finger's about 17, I'll want to put it on the outside. And we'll click OK. This is a perfectly good way to make a ring. It is a little bit more difficult to customize, but as we get more familiar with the program, we'll also learn how to make engravings into curved faces like this as well. If you made it this far, great job coming up with your own solution to making a ring design. As always, there are many more ways to make rings than this, so feel free to explore.